Hi, I'm Cary, and today I'm going to show you how to add a digital signature to your images in Photoshop. You may want to watch my previous tutorial on how to create a custom brush before you try this technique. Just a reminder that the custom brush was actually in the pencil tool, which is nested inside the brush tool. Well, here's my image, ready to be signed. We're going to add a new blank layer by clicking on this little icon at the bottom of the layers palette, which gives us a new blank transparent layer. The first thing to do when you add a new layer is to rename it. So we're going to double click on the name, and I'm going to name this Sig for signature. Then we'll go over to our brush tool and make sure that we're inside the pencil tool because that's where the custom brush is. Up in the options bar, we'll come down to the artist signature that was saved and click on that to select it. And in order to collapse this menu, we'll click on the big gray bar up here at the top. And now when I bring my brush cursor over the image, you'll see that it's way too big. And I'm not clicking yet. I'm just going to use my left bracket key and just press that until it gets down to a good size to where we can see it. And this is the important tip. Just click once. If you click and move while you're clicking, this is what happens. And that's not the look we're going for. Command Z to undo that. And Control Z on Windows, by the way, to undo that. Now we want to move our signature into the general area. So I'm going to use the Move tool, which is up on the top of the tools. I'm just going to click, hold, and drag our signature down to the general area where we would like that. And it's not very visible, so the first thing we will do is change that color. To do that, we're going to double click in this blank area of the layer. That opens the layer style box. Then we're going to click on color overlay, the words. You do have to click on the words, not just the checkbox, because there are options that go with each style, and you have to get the words to make those match. So let's undo that and come back to color overlay. You'll see that the default color is red, and to change that, we'll click one time on the red box. That opens the color picker, and when we bring our cursor inside the image, now we have an eyedropper and we can click anywhere in the image on any color, and when we do that, our signature instantly changes colors. Kinda cool. If you notice in the color picker, that matches exactly the color that we chose. We can make that color lighter or darker and so forth by clicking around inside the color picker. When you're happy, click OK. And one more time in the layer style box, click OK. Now in the layers palette, you can see that we have an FX icon with a subset of color overlay. That lets us go right back into that box and change our mind about color. So double clicking on the color overlay takes us back to the layer style box. We can edit, change, or any of these as much as we would like, and then click OK one more time. Now that we've changed the color, let's see what we would like to do about the rotation, the size, and so forth. The way we do that is we go up to the Edit menu to Free Transform. The shortcut is Command T or Control T on Windows. That puts a bounding box around our signature, and now we can change the size and so forth. I'm going to hold my Shift key down to constrain the proportions and then drag on a corner up or down to change the size. If I hover just outside the bounding box, we get our rotation tool. Click, hold, and drag to change the rotation just slightly. Then we can right-click inside the bounding box to get the final list of options, for instance, Distort. That lets us pull on one corner at a time. And when we're happy, hit Return or Enter. We can always go back in there and redo that by simply going to our Command T, Control T on Windows, and changing things a little bit. Now, if you are in that bounding box and you're not quite happy with the way things are looking, just press your Escape key on the keyboard to start over. You can create as many custom brushes as you like, as shown in my previous tutorial, and even add more than one to an image. Just turn the visibility off or on, here's the eyeball, and then do a save as for each version. For instance, you could save one version with no signature, another version with a signature, and yet another with a different signature. Well, there you have it. A great way to customize each image by adding your personal artist signature in Photoshop. Well, that's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.